quality is important, of course. You rather focus really good on one platform than do 5 at a time, but with less quality.
Welcome to Wires and Cross, the podcast where we untangle the world of affiliate and digital marketing. In this episode, we're going to start the deep dive series. And it consists of 4 different episodes on which we are going to discuss one by one the topics that we talked about in the first episode of the podcast with Claire. And we're going to discuss social media, content, SEO, and paid advertisement, and how affiliate marketing can have a great benefit because of all of these things that we're going to discuss. We're going to have experts. They're going to help us understand a little bit more what each of these terms mean and how we can apply them to make our affiliate business much more successful. And today we're going to talk about social media. And I think it's so important that we discuss about social media, really, because we are applying it into everything. And if we have any sort of digital business, we have to have social media for advertisement and to just make sure that your business is out there. In this episode, we have Mats Botsma. He is the social media manager at Sneakerjagers, and he has seen the development that the company has had into the successful business that it is right now. So here it is, Wires on Cross with Mats Botsma, talking about social media in 2023. We have someone very special here today, part of the
So special.
part of the Sneakerjagers family. We have Mats Botsma. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Super.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Amazing.
Thank you for opening a space.
Of course.
In your very busy agenda.
Of course.
Mats is a social media manager in Sneakerjagers,
Mm-hmm.
and you have quite of a strong social media management background, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So yeah, I started like 5 years ago. I started at Sneakerjagers as an intern while we were pretty small compared to where we are right now. But yeah, I just started as a social media. Well, it's been 6 months now since I'm working full time at Sneakerjagers.
Yeah.
Because I had studies still. I did a master's, but I've always been connected with Sneakerjagers through social media. So I did plan, post. I kept an eye on social media trends. And I think right now in my job position, it's just what I did, but way bigger, way more, and way more focused than it used to be. So yeah, I have some experience in social media, and I think right now I'm still learning a lot of new stuff.
I think you never stop learning when it comes to social media.
Exactly.
And what is your master's on?
Fashion and luxury marketing.
I'm also a fashion major.
Really?
That is so
Really?
funny. Yes, I did 3.5 years of technical fashion.
Oh wow!
And then 2 years of fashion marketing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where?
In Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So nice. Everyone, like I seem to find more and more fashion people.
Yeah.
In social media and in marketing, like more often than before. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I did my bachelor's in sports marketing, and while doing that bachelor's, I started to develop an interest in more fashion. Of course, sports is always connected to fashion.
Yeah.
Especially at Sneakerjagers, you work with brands like Nike, Adidas, Puma, who are their heritage basically is sports and still is sports.
Exactly.
But yeah, I developed an interest in fashion, so I decided to do a master's in fashion and in luxury.
Nice.
Which is way different than sports, but really interesting. Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about a very interesting and particular topic because it's very used nowadays, pretty much on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we're focusing specifically about social media and affiliate marketing today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit of how it can be implemented and utilized to create a campaign and reach a bit more of a wider audience, you could say. Can you, in your experience, can you tell me a little bit the differences between the different social media uses, like the power that they have or the targeting capabilities?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's start with the subject of reaching new people.
Yeah.
Of course, there are already a lot of people who follow us and are interested in sneakers, but there are many people who are interested in sneakers but don't follow us yet, or people who might be interested in sneakers and don't follow us yet on any platform. And from my experience, especially Instagram and TikTok are the best platforms to reach a new audience, the
Yeah.
more easier platforms to reach a new audience. So for example, with Instagram, you can reach people who already follow you, but if the post is good, it could also reach a high percentage of people who didn't follow you yet
Yeah.
through, for example, Reels or the Discover page, which is really useful, and it's like free promotion
Yeah.
on Instagram. And TikTok more or less works the same. I think more people use the For You page instead of the page where you can see posts of people you follow. So yeah, you just get into the algorithm of people more easily than, for example, with Facebook or
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, how interesting. That definitely is super important to notice, because especially nowadays you have to be very smart about the kind of social media that you choose
Mm-hmm.
to promote your product.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like now it seems like we have an array of a bunch of social media that we can use, and it really depends on the product that you are selling and what target audiences will be.
Yeah.
So discussing about Sneaker Jaggers, can you mention us how did you came about, or in your internship and all the process, how you came about to discover which social media was best for Sneaker Jaggers?
Well, we have a lot of we almost use every platform right now. Which works best is, it depends a bit on the intent of the platform. For example, Facebook is way more focused on sales and traffic. First of all, because the way the Facebook post is structured, you can put a direct link into the post, which is not possible with an Instagram post or a TikTok post. Twitter, the same. You can post a link directly into the text of your post, and people can click on it. So that works really well on Facebook, and especially with sneaker releases, you can directly link to the release calendar, or you can directly link to the page of the retailer you want to link to, which is way more direct, way less clicks towards a possible sale. With Instagram, that's not the case. So Instagram we use more as a to show ourselves as an authority in the world of sneakers. We are one of the first with the news, with the this, with the that. We have a couple of podcasts. We have some videos where we show our audience and our possible new audience that we are the people who know about sneakers and who you should follow if you want to stay up to date on everything sneakers. Every sort of platform works well, but has a different intent, and they don't work the same. So it's difficult to say which platform works the best. If you look at sales, it might be Facebook. If you look at reach, it will be Instagram.
And do you have any experience, let's say, with platforms such as like Pinterest or Reddit that are more like that, you know that they're big and you know that they're powerful social media, but in terms of consumption or a commercial aspect, they're not that like that obvious. But what can we find as product owners as the value on those social medias nowadays?
Well, to be honest, I don't have that many experience with Reddit and Pinterest. We are working on right now. It's really, we just started, and we sort of test on how it works and what we should post and what type of post we should do. Within Pinterest, you can use direct links, which is useful, but I'm not really sure how to use it in the most optimal way.
Yeah. So you think, like, especially for Sneaker Jaggers at the moment, doesn't have that much of a...
Not right now, because we choose to use Facebook and Instagram in the...
Those are your main ones. Okay.
And
And is TikTok also as well in the same area, let's say, as Instagram is as a visual platform?
Depends a bit. If you look at followers, no, it's not on the level of Facebook and Instagram. But if you look at the potential and how many people you could reach with it, it should have been more focused on, I think, especially because when a new platform like TikTok is one of the... Of course, now you have Threads from Meta, but TikTok was the newest one. It was explosive in terms of how many people used it, and the algorithm of finding a new audience was crazy and way different than previous platforms.
And it's really interesting that TikTok managed to reach so high, being in a platform that it was more popular in Asia at the beginning, and that it was so so niche
Yeah.
But now it has so much audience on it. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous, the community
Yeah.
that it has.
The thing with TikTok was all the rules of making content we did before
Yeah.
were not valid anymore on TikTok. It was so different, and people, in my point of view, the quality was way less in terms of like you don't have to use a camera, you don't have to use a mic, you
Yeah.
don't have to have a nice background. It's just really simple, which makes it quite difficult in my
Yeah,
opinion.
you're just pumping out content, but it's not that much of a quality.
Yeah.
In terms of Instagram, you can be
Yeah.
more polished with
Yeah.
it. But I
Yeah.
think in a way, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, you also kind of filtrate as well the kind of people that follow you
Mhm.
because of the content that you put on.
Yeah.
Because if you put quality content, then obviously people that are actually interested
Yeah.
will be following
Yeah.
you, and then the conversion might be higher.
Yeah. There are some higher quality profiles on TikTok, of course, but of course it also takes a lot of time
Yeah,
and
exactly.
resources to produce those high quality videos.
Yeah.
So I think for starting on TikTok, it should be a bit less quality, but more fun and more be on trend, of course.
Yeah, of course. As a social media manager and as an expert on social media, yeah, what advice would you give people that are just starting and they're building an audience
Mm.
to say, okay, focus on set platforms and focus on doing X or Y? What are
Mhm.
your advices to those
I
people?
think quality is important, of course. You rather focus really good on one platform than do 5 at a time, but
Yeah.
with less quality. If you think, or based on research, that your audience is similar to the demographics of a certain platform, because Facebook is used by a bit more older people, a lot of women are still using Facebook. TikTok is, well, it's not more young because more and more
Yeah.
older people are also. But yeah, you rather pick one platform that fits your audience or has connection with your audience, not only on demographic but also on interest, because on interest, because TikTok is a perfect platform to search for inspiration or discovering new stuff, maybe regarding fashion. So there are a lot of fashion accounts on TikTok that are doing really well. So that if you are in fashion, you might pick TikTok because there is your fashion audience as well.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, quality is key. Rather do one thing really good than 5 things.
Yeah, that's a good advice, because I feel like a lot of people right now are just in the urge of producing so much content everywhere that they're just not doing it right in the quality department. Quality posts are not quality, they're not gonna have any recollection in your mind. They're gonna be forgettable, I feel.
But of course, with TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels, they're all the same format of short videos. So you could recycle the content you make on one channel on one platform on the other platforms.
Yeah.
Which is broadly advised by people. Yeah, why not just post it if you already have the content? It might not work as good as you've thought, because again, on Instagram we can see a bit more higher quality content as on TikTok.
Yeah.
But still, why not post it? You could always try it.
It's about a trial and error.
Exactly.
I feel.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna move a little bit to affiliate marketing, because this is like what we want to talk about first for everything. But because it's such a market that a lot of people don't know, I wanna pick your brain and discuss a little bit with you about the different applications that you can do with social media and integrate it into affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the main thing that people will do on affiliate marketing with social media?
Social media is, of course, easy to drive traffic, more or less. Whether it's advertisements or it's organic, you can create traffic for your affiliate platform.
Yeah.
Whether it's to your own platform or to a retailer, that could be the main purpose of social media, of course, for affiliate marketing. I'm not really into SEO. I think you are more of an expert in SEO, but backlinking on social media is also really useful, I guess, on regarding affiliate marketing. But if I reflected on Sneakerjagers, since affiliate marketing is quite fake for a lot of consumers, people don't know what affiliate marketing is.
Yeah, exactly.
they might get confused by clicking a link and going to another website. They might,
Yeah.
what's this? What is this? So with Sneaky Jagers, we try to give our brand some recognition in terms of faces. We have a couple of faces on our
Yeah.
social. I'm
You
one of the
included, yeah.
faces. Tom is one of the faces. Tim Beumers, Nikki is one of the faces. So people could recognize this, and we give a human touch to a platform which
Yeah.
could be quite flat and just traffic, clicks, sales, whatever. But we give a sort of human touch to it to create maybe a bit more trust and
Yeah,
recognition.
like authority.
Yeah,
To,
yeah, exactly, authority. Yeah. So of course we use social media for clicks and traffic, but on the other hand, we also use it quite well to show that we are real people and that we love what we do and we have passion for the product which we promote, which is cool.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing to see how Sneaker Jaggers uses social media, because it is still a relatively small team,
Mhm.
but the authority that it has in terms of sneaker culture and
Yeah.
everything is just amazing.
Yeah.
Let's discuss a little bit about the strategies that you can do
Mhm.
if we're using social media as a leverage for traffic in
Mhm.
any way. What do you think is the most useful strategy to be able to drag this, like in terms of like timing of posting,
Mhm.
or what kind of posts do you do the most,
Mhm.
or
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, regarding timing, since we've used several social media platforms quite for a long time, we use some tools which calculate which times are the best,
Yeah.
which times our audience is online, which times our posts have more engagement or our posts have more clicks. So all the times we do is based on that. And the type of content we post is it's like, in my head, it's always like we have three pillars. We have our educational pillar, we have our entertainment pillar, and we have our community pillar. Educational is about educating people, show that you're an authority, which could be really quick and direct with telling people, hey, this is releasing tomorrow, click this link to see all the stockist of that certain shoe.
Yeah.
But it could also be more evergreen content. So educate people on how to style a certain sneaker, or educate people on the history of a certain
Yeah.
sneaker, which is not as direct as the quick educational content.
Yeah, exactly.
But you show people that, hey, we promote this product, but we also know everything about this product, and we know how to style it, or how to lace
Yeah.
it, or how to clean it, or whatever. Then the entertainment pillar is our podcast, of course. It has some overlap with educational because you tell stuff to people in the
Yeah.
podcast and you have interesting guests in the podcast. But it's also a form of entertainment. We also have a music show every Friday.
Yeah, the
Turnover,
yeah.
exactly, with DJ Turn, a good friend of us, where we every way he invites a guest every week who does a DJ set, and we broadcast it from our platform. Why? Because music and sneakers go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's part of the culture.
Yeah. And also to give our platform some more familiar faces.
And also keeping it light, not always like if you see shoes all the time, then it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Mixing the culture with it is just the trick. Yeah.
Exactly. And we also do stuff with Nikki where she goes to, for example, on a sneaker event where she interviews people on simple questions like, what is your favorite sneaker? What's your GOAT sneaker? What is your this, your that? Which works as a form of entertainment in short video form.
Yeah.
People like it. It's a lot of engagement on it.
Yeah, nice.
Which those posts, of course, have some overlap in our community pillar, where we talk to our community, help our community. We have a lot of requests, DMs, questions about quick sneakers.
Yeah.
And we love to help those people out with a sort of personal touch. So we write, of course, we answer their questions.
You engage with the community. Yeah.
Not only with our customers, but also with notable people in the community. So sneakerheads, designers, musicians who love sneakers as well. We react on their posts. We have interaction with them, and we engage with them. And you can basically do that on every platform, from Instagram to Facebook to TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for every product that you're trying to sell, there is going to be like a community attached to it.
Yeah.
I noticed that Sneaker Jaggers has several accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and you divide it. Do you segment your accounts for demography, or you prefer to
Yeah.
focus more on the general one?
Ooh, difficult question, because on Facebook we do it on demographics. We have
Yeah.
Germany, UK, France, and of course
Yeah.
Netherlands. And then on Instagram we have our main channel, which is in English, and then we have our women's channel.
Yeah.
There's not it just happened.
You saw that it worked better that way.
We had those platforms for a long time. So even when I didn't even start, there were certain accounts. With the women's account on Instagram, we saw some focus of big brands on women's, so we thought to hop on that trend of the big brands
Yeah.
and on the strategy of those big brands by creating a women's account. Now looking back at it, it's quite an engaging account. It has a fair amount of followers, and it's way different than our main account. Our main
Yeah.
account is more inform people, latest news, this, that, and the women's account is more inspirational,
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Like a
based.
mood board, basically. Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have platforms that you use or applications or whatnot
Mm-hmm.
to give you a little bit of a guidance in terms of which platform works better for what audience.
Yeah.
Do you have any names that come into mind that we can recommend?
Later, I use Later
Okay.
for first of all for planning posts.
Yeah.
It's a easy program where you upload an image and plan posts throughout the week, for example. And it also has not as big as analytical stuff.
Yeah.
It's not as big as I wanted to be, but it's fine and it works quite well. And there you can see, for example, on which times our followers are online. I think you can also see it on Instagram.
On the statistics
Yeah, on
there?
the statistics
Okay.
themselves. But we use Later for several social media platforms.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
We know that the key components of digital marketing, like social media, can contribute to the success. And we can see that on Sneaker Jaggers, which is tremendously successful. And it has a very loyal following on all of your social media channels. On the basis of your everyday work experience, how much revenue or how much success do you think Sneaker Jagger has because of your social media?
Wow.
And on top of that one, what do you think will be an alternative for affiliate marketing to use in case social media were to went
disappear.
away? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that last question, sometimes I'm when I'm in the shower or when I'm in my bed, and then I'm thinking, hey, what would happen if social media just disappears tomorrow?
Yeah.
What would happen? But a good alternative in our case is our app, because it has all the information we also post on social media.
Yeah.
Because basically on social media we always refer to one of our components of the website, whether it's the release calendar or the search engine or a news article. We always most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, we refer to something on our website which is also on our app. And with our app, which of course is a mobile application, you are on the home screen of people and you can directly target people on their phone, instead of first opening a social media platform, then clicking on a link and then going to our website, and then it's more direct.
Yeah.
Other alternatives could be, of course, physical stuff, maybe a store.
Yeah. Like
but for affiliate marketing, I don't know.
I think maybe it could be like going old school back of being like when you used to see for affiliate marketing. The thing is, affiliate marketing and digital media are so interconnected.
Yeah.
So perhaps using platforms like digital magazines or doing like old school like PR, but in the digital environment, because you wouldn't even notice until you ask yourself those questions, and you're like, oh my God, social media has so much power, and it has so much influence over it.
But the same accounts, of course, for Google.
Oh, absolutely.
It has so much influence. Yeah, the internet overall.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's digital marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else would you
Yeah,
expect?
exactly. I think Sneakerjaggers is a great example of a correct use of social media and a successful use of social media. The community that it has behind it is just incredible to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just hope that it grows and grows even more.
Yeah.
And all the content that you guys produce is just incredible. So we tell all of our listeners to please go and
Yeah,
subscribe,
check it out.
to go
Check
check it
it out.
out. It has
Yeah.
amazing things. I did my first sneaker purchase this weekend because of the website, and it was great with the social media.
What
It helped a lot.
What did you buy?
I bought a Nike Air
Air
Dunk
Force One?
Lows
Oh, Dunk Lows.
Shadow.
All right. Gray with.
They're pink
Oh.
with, I don't know, they have like this teddy bear texture on them. I thought they were the cutest things. And I walk down the street now
Yeah.
just avoiding people to
Yeah,
not step
yeah,
on my
yeah,
feet because
yeah.
I love my
That's
shoes.
part of the game. Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, no.
It was a very, very educational and yeah, great
Good.
conversation.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
That is all for this episode of Wires on Cross. Subscribe on Spotify or in any platform that you listen to your podcast so you never miss any future uploads. Also, follow us on all our social media channels, for which you can find a link on the description of the episode. We will release new podcasts every few weeks to continue to unveil the world of marketing one episode at a time.
Cool. Looking
Okay.
forward to all the next episodes as
Me
well.
too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exciting. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.